Do you worry about your teen girl's self-esteem? Do you wish your teenage daughter just knew how beautiful she already is? Do you find her constantly comparing herself to others' expectation and even to others? Today, I want to walk you through building self-esteem and confidence in our teen and tween girls. As part of our summer series, I want to equip you with strategies and skills to have these open conversations with her, not only through the summer months, but throughout the whole year. So let's get into this important topic on helping your girls build confidence for herself. You're listening to this because your heart is breaking from the changes that are happening in your girl that is affecting your connection with her. Your once cuddly, talkative little girl is now growing up, but with the cost of silence, emotional bouts, and you get the short end of the stick. You fear these disconnections and challenges you're facing right now is affecting your relationship with her. And what will the future hold between the two of you? How will you get through this season without losing the closeness you once had and so desperately want? Mama, I want you to know you are not alone. As lonely as it may feel and almost embarrassing to share with even your closest friends about this because you feel like you're failing at connecting with her, this is common. It's a season. However, I know that you don't want to sit idle during this time. So here it is. This is what I want to tell you, that you can do hard things. This is a season of hard, but you will get through it by equipping yourself with the right tools to turn this all around. I invite you to explore what could be possible for you. Head to talktoyourteengirl.com right now. I want you to join me and let's equip you together so that you can relate and reestablish your connection with your girl. That's talktoyourteengirl.com. Hey mama, welcome to Raising Her Confidently. Do you want to have open communication with your teen daughter? Do you find yourself constantly thinking about how to talk to your teen or why your girl is not opening up to you? Do you wake up with confident intentions only to feel confused and frustrated when all you get are one-word answers from your daughter again? Hey, I'm Jeannie. I too was a mom raising young teens. I too felt grieved by the loss of my sweet, talkative little girl. I wanted her to come to me about anything, even if she was scared, and listen to my advice. But I kept thinking, she won't listen to me, and I don't know how to approach her until I found tools to create open communication. In this podcast, you will find how to connect and talk to your teen and create a safe space for her to go to so that you will have that close relationship you dreamed of. Go grab your glass of Merlot and throw off those fuzzy slippers and let's dig in together. I know, Mama, you worry about your daughter's self-esteem issues. Maybe it's not blatantly saying this to you or even show you in a way that is concerning. You notice her making decisions based on what others want from her and expect out of her, or even if it's not necessarily who she typically is, right? You see her acting in a way that you know is not her, and she's doing it to satisfy others and their expectations. Gosh, as a young girl, I remember and recall just having to always people please, right? I've learned to become a people pleaser based on people's reaction. If I got a good reaction, then I keep on doing that, right? And I've learned this early on as a child, even through school and inadvertently through my mom. If I did something well, I got praise for it. If I did something wrong, I got scolded. So guess what I focused more on? The praise. And I've learned to constantly achieve and prove myself based on others' opinions and expectations and not really understanding why I was doing it in the first place. And through the teen years and young adult years, I continued to do that even, and I still struggle with that today, but even into my adulthood as a mama, I struggled with the expectations of others and how that affected me. And because I strived to appease others, my confidence was based on what other people thought of me. And that was fueling my self-esteem. So when the opinions of others, or came short to others people's expectations, I was very hard on myself. Right? The lack of self-confidence in my own abilities was dependent on either the results of my achievement or what other people said about me. And if it wasn't what I expected, it was very cutting, even if it was unintentional by other people. Instead of taking it as constructive criticism, I took it as shame and I needed to do better, right? So I share this story because, Mama, I know you and you want the best for your daughter. You already believe that she's beautiful, that she's created to make an impact in this world. And if she can only see that for herself, what a better outlook she would have, right? To live in this world with self-esteem and confidence. Unfortunately, we live in a broken world that dictates what we should be doing and how we should be doing it, thanks to easy access to the digital world, right? So, mamas, I wanted to talk about some of the topics when it comes to building self-esteem and confidence in your girls, regardless of what's coming at them. This is going to be a journey for her. And yes, she may fall short and question her own identity because of the opinions of others, whether it be intentional or unintentional. That is the human nature in us. But we're going to talk about some of these topics and what we can do, or you can do, Mama, to help guide her in either dispelling it or not allowing it to control her the way it does, right? So here we go. Number 1, let's talk about body image and media influence. One way you can build self-esteem and confidence in your teenage daughter is discussing body image and media influence. Sometimes we can avoid talking about body image in general because we don't want to highlight that attention if it's not necessary, right? But we do not know what goes on in her head, what she sees in social media, and what she's really thinking about herself. But to encourage open conversation and dialogue around these, what seems to be a taboo subject of body image, is healthy. Our daughters face so much pressure these days, especially with body image and media influence. It's something we need to talk about openly and often. Let's start with the topic of body image. Everywhere our girls look, there are images and messages telling them what they should look like. It's in the movies, it's on TV, it's in magazines, right? I grew up with 17 magazines, so I know what that means. And especially on social media. These images often show unrealistic standards of beauty, right? Sometimes they're airbrushed. They have the filters, the digital filters, or even with AI, they just completely make you into an entirely different looking person. I'm going to share a story real quick. My husband discovered AI and headshots, and it looked like his face. It was so realistic, but when you look at him, it depicts him with a body that is not his and obviously takes all the blemishes out or characters that are, I guess, unappealing by standards and makes him to look like an actual movie star. It's my husband, but he looks like a movie star version of him, right? And we are facing that often, and our kids are exploring AI and wishing they would look like that because it's their face, but better or highlighted, right? And they're buying into this. These images often show unrealistic standards of what beauty is, and it really can impact how our daughters feel about themselves. Because the reality is they don't look like the AI version of themselves. And they don't look like the airbrush models in the magazines. I'm sure the models don't even look like that in person. But do they know that? One thing we can do is to have those open conversations about these images. Ask your daughters what they think about the people they see in the media. Are these images realistic? How do they make them feel? This can help her start to see the difference between reality and what's portrayed in media. Another tip to encourage a media detox. So we're talking about media detox too, because media actually can dump a lot of things into our head, and our daughter's imagination can only fill in the blank. So if we were to do a media detox every once in a while, suggest taking a break from a social media and focusing on real life interactions. And this can be a refreshing change and a great way to reset, right? So we're talking about media or body image, and because media is such a source of these images, that if we do a detox, if you encourage her to do a detox every once in a while and take a break and focus on her real life interactions, her friends in person, having them over or going out and doing an activity together, it can be a change and a great way to reset those thoughts. Another way is to boost self-confidence is through activities. I spoke about this in a previous episode, why summer is the best time to connect with your daughter in episode 151, a couple episodes before this. Activities that can help boost our daughter's self-confidence. First off, sports and physical activities are absolutely fantastic. Whether it's joining a soccer team, taking up a dance, or even just going for regular walks or bike rides, physical activity helps build strong and positive body images and releases those feel-good endorphins, right? And they're going to feel good about themselves because they got themselves moving. Another great activity is getting involved in the arts. I'm partial to that because my kids are very creative. Drawing, painting, playing an instrument, or even acting in a play can help girls express themselves and build confidence in their unique talents. Maybe volunteer work is also very, very powerful. Helping others can give your daughter a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Plus, it teaches empathy and gratitude, which are invaluable traits, right? Volunteer work is giving your all and not necessarily expecting anything back. And what a great way to teach your daughter about giving for themselves, right? This is something they want to do and not really have an expectation of others. Another topic is celebrating individuality and personal achievements, right? Celebrating individuality and personal achievement. Celebrating our daughter's individuality and personal achievements is important. Now, personal achievements is different from what I was explaining. Personal achievements is because something they wanted to do for themselves, not because she was achieving like me, because somebody expected it out of me, right? So there's a difference. Every child is unique, and acknowledging their strengths and accomplishments, no matter how small, can do wonders for their self-esteem. So make it a habit of recognizing and celebrating your daughter's efforts and achievements. Did she do well on a test because she just happens to be very smart? Or she worked really, really hard to study for this test? Celebrate it. Did she show kindness to a friend? Acknowledge it. These moments add up and reinforce the idea that she is valued and capable. Also encourage her to pursue her passions, even if they differ from what her peers are interested in. Whether it's a quirky hobby that she's super interested in or a unique style, supporting her individuality can help her develop a strong sense of self. So mama, these are a few things that you can do to help build self-esteem and confidence during the summer months when influence from school or other activities that are on the regular are no longer a part of her life, where you get to focus on what she values most, what her talents are, and celebrate those. Have those healthy conversations about body image and how social media and the media can really give a diluted, unrealistic, or tweaked version of what beauty is. Now, after listening to this episode, what are you going to reach out and do with your daughter? Whether it's have an open conversation about body image and media influence, or explore activities that she's going to do over the summer that she can do for herself and have those individual expressions as well as personal achievements. Mama, you are key to helping your daughter build that self-esteem and confidence by simply allowing her the space to explore and discover who she is individually, without influence, without social media pressure, even without familiar pressure, but be encouraged in what she is uniquely created to be. Mom, if you need some help in having these open dialogues and conversations about body image and activities to connect to herself, I encourage you to check out Talk to Your Teen Girl framework. You can check it out by going to talktoyourteengirl.com. That's talktoyourteengirl.com. I'll see you next Monday. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.